Hi, I'm Dr. Zarowski, and in this video, I'm going to teach you the health benefits of one meal a day. Hi, I'm Dr. Zarowski from NewVisionExcel.com. If you're new to the channel, it is such a pleasure to have you here. Be sure to subscribe and hit the little bell notification if you want to amplify your health, and you're going to be well on your way. In this video, we're talking about one meal a day. You also may know it as the OMAD diet or the warrior diet. And simply what this means is that you are eating all your meals within one single sitting. Okay, so you're probably familiar with intermittent fasting. This is essentially a form of intermittent fasting. Instead of actually going and, fasting for 16 hours and eating in an 8-hour period, you're just going to fast for a longer duration and eat all your meals within probably about a 1 or 2 hour period. Now, when we look at the one meal a day thing, it's really interesting because fasting has incredible benefits to our body. Fasting is actually just embedded into our genetics. When we look at our ancestors, the thing that's really interesting is that, they didn't have refrigerators, they didn't have freezers, they didn't have grocery stores to go to at all hours of the night like we do today. And as a result of that, they didn't have the constant grazing that we literally live in modern day society. And so when we fast, some really great things happens. Essentially, when we fast, a metabolic shift occurs in our body, and it switches to fat metabolism and ketone production, which triggers a cellular stress response, which ultimately is going to repair and reverse molecular damage. And then as a result of that, many great benefits come out of it. So what I'll do is I'll go through some of these benefits, and at the end of the video, what I'll do is I'll talk about some of the things that are very important to consider when doing one meal a day, and also some troubleshooting, because one meal a day is not necessarily for everybody. So first great thing that happens is autophagy. Essentially what autophagy is a breakdown of, just kind of the broke down parts of the cell. And so what happens is when we fast, those broken down parts, almost like a recycling starts to happen. The broken down parts are moved out and the repairing starts to occur. So autophagy is activated through fasting. The other big thing is weight loss. Okay, when we look at one meal a day, as a result of that, you are going to consume less calories. It's not about consuming less calories. That's not the goal of one meal a day. But when you're only putting all your meals, typically most people are eating 3 meals. If you put that all into one meal, you're just not going to consume as much, and you're not going to be snacking and all that stuff. Now, weight loss occurs not only because a less calorie intake, but also some other really interesting things happen. One is hormone sensitivity. So when we are in a fasted state, what happens is our hormones become much more sensitive. Insulin is much more responsive. The cell receptors have a chance to heal. When we look at conditions like diabetes, for instance, it's a condition where the hormones aren't being heard. And so as a result of fasting, the hormones become much more sensitive. The hormones that are telling our bodies to burn fat, the hormones that are telling our body what to do with the blood sugar. And as a result, we start to shed more fat and lose some weight. And it also can help in other areas that you have some hormone dysregulation as well. Another thing that occurs is digestive repair. Most people, because they're constantly grazing and just eating all hours of the day, the digestive system never has a chance to just take a break, relax, and repair. It's just working 24 hours a day. People are eating a huge meal at night, and it's even working all night to digest that food. So, that normal breakfast that most people are having, where you're breaking that fast in the morning, isn't really occurring because there was never a big fast in the first place. So digestive repair happens when we are in a fasted state, because our bodies are not taking that time, and digesting food is actually taking the time to heal. And as a result of that, most people are feeling a lot more energy when they're on the one meal a day diet. And the reason for that is, once again, because our body's not using so much energy for other processes in the body, such as digestion. If you're only eating one meal a day versus 3 meals a day, then that's 2 meals that your body doesn't have to pump out energy for to actually break down food and convert it into nutrients and things like that, so that your body can use it properly. So most people notice that while doing one meal a day, they actually have an increase in energy rather than a decrease. The other thing is an increase in focus. It's along the same lines. Your brain has more energy as a result. And also when you're fasting, something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor is released, which is going to help increase your focus, but also help from a longevity standpoint with, preventing some of these different neurological diseases that can occur. The next thing that occurs is a decrease in inflammation. When our bodies are constantly digesting food and never having a chance to actually switch into that metabolic state where we're using fat for energy, where we're actually producing more ketones and we're activating that cellular stress response, we don't ever have a chance to just decrease inflammation and heal. So as a result of fasting, the body has plenty of time to work on healing and cleaning up the system so that you have a decrease in inflammation, and as a result of that, you have a lot less chance of suffering some sort of inflammatory disease down the road, whether it's cardiovascular or cancer or any of these other diseases that are out there and so prevalent today. Last if not least, longevity is a big one. Now, everything we talked about here is very important from a longevity standpoint. So if you want to have longevity, it's very important to make sure that, not necessarily even using one meal a day, but intermittent fasting is very beneficial. There's a lot of different reports out there that tell us that people who eat less a lot of times live longer, and it's just because when we eat less, when we fast, our body is able to heal. Now, there's a couple important things that you need to know about one meal a day. So if you're going to be doing it, you have to eat a really high quality diet. You need to make sure that your body's getting the proper amount of nutrients and sufficient amount of good quality fats and all the things that are necessary. If you're not familiar with the Heal Yourself diet, check out the video that I just did on it, because it really goes through it and teaches on the Heal Yourself diet, which I use with so many of my clients. And it's a really high quality diet that focuses on making sure you're optimizing nutrition, optimizing good quality foods, and avoiding toxic foods, pulling out those inflammatory foods that are going to cause a lot of issues for you. So high quality diet is a really big thing. The next thing is make sure that you're consuming enough calories, okay? So when we talk about one meal a day, this is a big meal. This is not just, you're eating one small meal a day or one average meal. You're gonna be eating a huge meal, because one meal a day is not about calorie restriction. It is about eating all your calories in one sitting, okay? So make sure that you're getting enough calories. And then the other thing that's important is, if you're gonna do one meal a day, it is important to make sure that you're not gonna just binge eat when it's time to eat, okay? You need to have your meals planned out, and you need to put a little bit of thought behind that, because when that time comes to eat, if you have a bunch of junk food in front of you, you're probably going to want to just binge eat on that junk food. So if you're going to do one meal a day, you need to make sure that you have your meals planned out and you are eating high quality, nutritious foods. Now, the last important thing that I'm going to mention here is some of the troubleshooting, okay? One meal a day is not for everyone. I will tell you that right now, because first of all, there's health conditions that can be a reason that you shouldn't be doing it. For someone who suffers from like adrenal fatigue, they're going to probably have a lot of crashes, and it can actually worsen the problem of adrenal fatigue. Someone who have blood sugar imbalances, high blood pressure, all these different things, there's a good chance that one meal a day is not going to be right for you. Now, if you're someone who wants to get into one meal a day, it's best that you don't just go from eating 3 meals a day to 1 meal a day. It's best that you actually go and start with regular intermittent fasting, where you're eating all your meals within an 8-hour window and fasting for 16 hours. Ease your body into it versus just abruptly diving into this 1 meal a day, because it is a very rigorous form of intermittent fasting, which is not for everyone. Now, the other thing that I want to mention is that it can be uncomfortable for some people, just simply because eating that many calories in one sitting is not for everyone. And so one meal a day is popular right now. It has tons of health benefits, as you saw. But you know what? These health benefits aren't just for one meal a day. They're also for people who want to use regular intermittent fasting. So if you want to actually get the benefits of all this, then you can use regular intermittent fasting. So if you're someone who uses one meal a day, be sure to post in the comments section below. I'd love to know how you're doing on it and some of the benefits that you're receiving. There's so many benefits here. Which ones are you noticing in your life? Now, the other thing is, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate that. And check out our other videos. We have tons of great videos on things like how to use apple cider vinegar for fasting, and also all the different ways to intermittent fast. Check them out. And until next time, folks, make it a great day.